Hey friend! Today I'm going to be opening the August Bookish box with the theme of witches and covens. I was really excited for this because I love me some witchy vibes. And from some of the previous items that I've seen, I really think the whole Bookish box team is on board with me on that one. So I'm really excited to see what items they pick this month. Let's open it up and get started. So the first item I pulled out is actually a little different this time. Instead of just a card, we get a little booklet. It's even thicker too than the Fairy Loot ones. I used to get that and that was just a little like pamphlet kind of thing. But let's see what is in here. Got a little intro. Okay, so this is gonna take the place of the monthly card. We've got young adult box, the theme, and all the items. I kind of like that the blurbs are bigger in size. It makes it quite a bit easier to read. Oh, but too, looks like we get to see what's in the adult box as well. I bet that's really handy both in a production capacity, but also it works pretty well as a marketing thing. Now you can see all the nice things you could have had if you would have got that box too. Looks like we still have the Spotify playlist. Oh, and a little bit about the curator for the playlist. That's pretty neat. Some more kind of ads for things, including candles. This will be really dangerous for me. And some about their exclusive editions that they have. I think this is really handy to have kind of bigger pamphlet instead of just the cards. That'll be neat. Looking forward to that. Like usual though, I'll leave this sat out and over to the side, reference it as I pull out items. So the first thing on top, I actually had to tinker with it a little bit. It was in a big plastic bag and I wasn't sure how the back of this worked. So this strap was all just one length. You have to tuck it through this bottom loop here. And there's a little, not quite a buckle because it doesn't have the pokey bits. You just have to like thread this through and the, I guess, a physics word. I don't know what physics word. Tension, whatever, but that'll keep it together. So then you can decide what length you want it and so how far you want it to sit kind of on your back. Something else that was a little weird that I noticed when I was playing with it is, so here's the main compartment. It's not that huge, but that's fine. I don't expect a full-size backpack. That's a lot. I was thinking this would be a small pouch, but it's not. It opens to the same compartment that this does. So I guess if you want to put in like a notebook or something bigger and then have some small things in front of it, that could be handy. But I was a little disappointed because I have a lot of things that need to go in a small pouch that might get lost. But again, it's a small bag. I guess you couldn't carry anything that big anyhow. But let's get to the fun part, which is what book it's referencing. So it says the 13, the Blackbeak Coven. And I'm pretty sure that that's from First Moss series, Throne of Glass. Let's read the card and see. It looks like it's the very first one even too. How fitting. Okay, so it doesn't specify, but I mean, there's enough information on here to kind of fill you in. It does say that inspired by one of our most loved fandoms. And it says it pairs wonderfully with the bookish shop, the 13T. And so this guy kind of fell out while I was pulling out the backpack. This is kind of neat. There's two snakes and then the kind of, I've been calling them magic hands. I'm sure there's a proper word for it, but you see on all the like magic and bewitching stuff. So it says Kingdom of the Cursed Sugar Spoon. I feel like that kind of says exactly what it is, but let's, oh, this is neat. This is definitely going on my coffee table. So we've got a little snake amongst some flower petals. We've got some thorns, it looks like. It looks like it's supposed to be a rose stem, which is pretty neat. And then we've got this little crystal wand bit at the end. This is really extravagant. I like this. So that's kind of weird. I was checking the blurb in the book, and the little notebook calls it a soup spoon, whereas it says sugar spoon right here. But right here it says soup spoon. So maybe you could use it for both, but with how ornate it is, I think I would probably want to hand wash it and use it just for sugar. I don't think I'd want to put it in hot soup. Just, I mean, look at all the little bits and baubles, and there's like little black stain to make it kind of look older and antique-y and to like pull out the details. So this says you can use it for your soup because it's starting to become fall and you'll want to use it for that kind of stuff. It's time for those warmer foods, and it mentions you can use it in your Instagram food pics. I think I'll be keeping mine on the coffee bar. So the next thing my hand alighted on was the monthly pin. Let me get it out of its packaging so I can showcase it all the better. So monthly pin, and then we've got this pair of hands. It says Weaver. Oh, I wonder if this is supposed to be inspired from the book that we got, I think it was just last month, Gold Spun. And this reminds you of the month that this box is supposed to be for. Ah, so it says it's inspired by a discovery of witches. I don't know if I've heard of that one. And it's designed by Iron Ink Designs. That's beautiful. I love this even without knowing what it's from. So by the way, I apologize that I only noticed this now, but usually most of the items have a credited artist. But this month, there aren't many listed in the booklet. So I wonder if this is just the Bookish team maybe taking on board more creative talent so they can make the designs fully in-house, or if this is just a change they decided to make. But that's why this is the first time that I've mentioned an artist by name so far. The other ones don't have credit. So here we've got The Lion Fell in Love with the Lamb. Olympic Coven inspired pin. I thought I recognized this from glancing at the month's items. I think this will be the Twilight Fountain pen. And so we got that quote again. So the lion fell in love with the lamb. And sure enough, fountain pen. The blurb says, write down quotes from your current reads, your reading schedule, or hey, even some spells if you're extra witchy. The Bookish shop designed the stunning Twilight inspired fountain pen for all your writing needs. Simple, I guess, not a lot to show off about it. It feels pretty sturdy. I wonder if I should keep the box just to make sure that it stays sturdy and the nib doesn't get broke. Next, we've got another staple. Look, it looks like this is the piece of jewelry. So let me pull it out of the wrapper so I can show it off better. I love this like aesthetic. I feel like I saw this somewhere else recently. Maybe it was more Bookish team stuff, but I really like the black with the constellations and even this kind of typeface. I like that a lot. See, hollow in between the letters. And I love that look. It's pretty cool. Anyway, let me stop geeking about the design of the paper and geek out about the design of the item. So it's a locket, and so we've got a copying of this kind of faded line motif where it like peters out like that. We've got that on the outside here. And then on the back, we've got a quote which reads, I'm used to believing in impossible things. And the inside's just a relief of both of those. So I guess like most lockets, you're meant to put some photos in here. That way you can see your pretty loved ones or whatever it is you decide to keep a photo of. Or maybe even herbs or something. Who knows? Who knows what you might want to keep in here. And the quote is from Witch Haven, which it looks like will be the book of the month, and that is by Sasha Payton Smith. Oh man, so I guess we're not doing the book and candle set anymore because that looks like that's all the items. All I have left is the print and the book itself, which again is coming in this cool sleeve now. I feel like this is new, but I'm loving it. It's a nice place to put the logo again and keep the book a little extra safe. So the card seems to have a lot of the same stuff on it. We've got a little note from the Bookish fam. We've got a list of all the things that makes this month's book a special edition and a little more from the team. And a fun piece of artwork, which let's see. So it looks like this is inspired by Kingdom of the Wicked. It says that this is the theme art for the September YA box, but Kingdom of the Wicked is already a book and I've already read it, so I don't know if it's going to be featured as next month's book or if they're going to be featuring the second one. I feel like it's a series, but I haven't really heard anybody talking about the follow-up book yet. But I'll be curious to see it. And I really appreciate this lovely artist print, which is by @morelove_art. All right, in the main event, oh, I love when a book has like the kind of matte finish rather than like a higher gloss. I just really love that and appreciate that. Oh, and I also really love and appreciate how solidly purple this is. I organized my bookshelf by color, so this one will be really easy to shelve. So as you can see, the title is The Witch Haven by Sasha Payton Smith. Oh, and then we have some pink around the edges. Oh, I love that. I love following through the pop of color from some of the stars and the name to this, to our author's name again. Ooh, and these end papers are beautiful. Nice, more nice bright pink. It almost kind of looks metallic-y. It's not, and you can tell in the print that there's a little smattering of like darker pinky purple in the center. But I think that's a really cool effect. Oh, and then we have our special thing on the inside, but let me save that for a minute. Got a lady in one of those goddess toga wraps. And some more stars and moons. Nothing on the back. We got the title here with that crescent moon again. Let's see what else is special about the book itself. Of course, the author's signature. And the special print on the inside of the book, let's see who that's by. So the special artwork is by @Bukoviski, I think is how it's pronounced. Draws. I'll have it up on the screen so if I butcher it wildly, then at least you've got the proper representation there. And then it looks like the book starts. Do we get a map? Oh, no map. Alright, so that's everything about the book itself. Let's take a look at that book jacket again. So we got the beautiful purple on the outside. That seems to be the kind of standard. Then our alternate jacket cover. Oh, this is beautiful too, though. It's gonna be hard to decide which one I want to display on my shelf. I've got 3 witches here. Looks like the larger one is holding perhaps the sun or a full moon, and then we got the smaller gals with a crescent moon. So it seems as though phases of the moon will feature heavily in this. Oh, and then we got a nice creepy manor. I'm loving that. The outfits have me thinking that this will be dated a little bit further back in like art history. But I also kind of hope that it's a group of people who have been kind of hiding, kind of keeping to their own, and they just haven't moved on with technology around them, and they're hanging out in their petticoats and in their creepy house with maybe even no electricity while the outside world is still using cell phones and stuff. I think that'd be fun. All right, so that was everything in the August bookish box with the theme of witches and covens. Again, the book featured in this month's box was The Witch Haven by Sasha Peyton Smith. Haven't really been digging the book that I'm reading currently, so I think I might just go ahead and skip to reading this right after I get done filming. I'd say this month was kind of a mismatch for me as far as items. There wasn't anything I was super thrilled about. I think my favorite looking item was this pen. I found a fun way to display all my pens, but I don't really wear them, and I haven't read this book, so don't know if this one's my favorite. I'd say probably the next would be a similar story. I haven't read Kingdom of the Cursed, if that was even the book or if it was a different book. But I love the way that this spoon looks, and I'm really excited to use this in some capacity. I might use it as just a sugar spoon. I might go ahead and try it out on something hotter like soup or something like that. But it's got a lot of fun detailing, and I think it's really exciting.